exposition about the book, the economics book, Big Ideas Simply Explained. Our exposition will be divided into 5 different parts, where each of us is going to talk about a specific chapter of the book. First, we're going to go with Paula.
My name is Paula Pirawan, and I'm going to talk about the chapter called GDP Ignores Me. It starts with the definition of GDP, which is an economic statistic that aims to record the value of transactions in an economy over a year. However, as the author says, everything broke and sold definition is not exactly equivalent to the economic activity that takes place, because it excludes non-market activities such as housework and childcare, even though they have value. The problem is that these activities are often largely performed by women and they are vital to the economy but don't count towards GDP because they are not recorded in the paid economy. So that's the reason why GDP ignores women.
My name is Sara Stupina. In the chapter of businesses pay more than the market wage, shows briefly a theory of Carl Shapiro and Joseph Stiglitz about the worker's salary. It says employers choose to pay over the market wage because it's worked very well. They get more from their employees this way. The higher wage and the knowledge that dismissal might lead to long-term employment increases the cost of losing a job and will make workers less likely to share. Employers also cannot observe the workers' ability withhold costs, and efficiency ways might help to attract better applicants. Other explanations include the employer's desire to boost morale and minimize turnover. And high wages may also keep workers healthy enough to do a good job.
Andrea Chinquiza. Workers must improve in their law to get collective bargaining. In context, the focus is society and the economy. Her thinker is Beatrice Wee. And she grew up with a new interest in social questions and became fascinated in the structural problems underlying poverty. With Sidney Wee, her husband, they formulated the movement. They formulated the idea of the national minimum, a minimum level of wage and quality life below which worker could not allow to fall. The term collective bargaining was coined by British socialist reformer Beatrice Wee in 1891 to describe the process by which workers organized into unions which negotiated pay and conditions with employers on the workers' behalf. Wee and her husband Sidney campaigning against property and lead to a new law limiting union rights to meeting for collective bargaining process.
Good morning, my name is Juan Camilo Duque, and I'm going to talk about the first part of the chapter, Unemployment is Not a Choice. In this chapter, John Maynard Keynes is introduced. First, this chapter tells us about the importance of his main work, The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Prices, written in 1986. With his book, Keynes made a fracture of the classic and modern perspective of economic studies, but mainly it created a division in the perspective of unemployment. For a century before Keynes' work, unemployment had a classical perspective, where it was seen as a problem for individuals who for some reason were unable to work. Also, it was believed that unemployment was voluntary because workers chose not to work and rather be involved in some non-market activity. However, by 1913, unemployment was understood as an involuntary activity, where people were willing to provide more labor, but that demand for workers was less than the offer. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Josue Salamanca. I'm gonna talk about the Great Depression, and the Great Depression affect the employment in United States. So there was a lot of unemployment in United States, and the first solution is that the market will make the equilibrium for their sales, and that couldn't work. So Keynes say that the government had to make inversion in the economy to transform that affectation in the employment. And Keynes talk about two unemployment, involuntary and voluntary, and he say that the involuntary is the most important because the firms can't demand words for the workers, so it's not the decision of the worker take the job because the firms can demand their words.
Okay, my name is Brian Munoz, and I'm talk about the new interpretation about the employment. Modern consideration of Keynes' words suggests that what workers are most concerned with is their wage relative of other workers. Workers have an idea of their interpretation in a theoretical language table of pay and will fight any wage reduction that would push them further down the table. Is interesting to know that a general increase in the price life throughout and inflation.
Okay, my name is Juan David Mujica, and I'm going to talk about the last chapter that have the title "Finding a Job is like finding a partner or a house." This chapter starts with the idea that the buyers and the sellers find each other immediately without cost and have perfect information about the price. The shared friction is one of the theory's main focus has been on job searches and on logic. When the wage for each should matches supply equals demand and the market is in equilibrium. In the 1960s, the economist George Stigler argued that the one-way market used by classic economists would only occur where there is no cost for information about the wage offer or search. And the next principal idea of the chapter is that economists assume that the buyers and sellers can always find each other immediately, but obviously this is false. In the reality, the problem is made worse if a search costs time and money. Stigler research showed that to conduct an optimized search, workers should reject any wage lower than their reservation wage but accept any offer above it. In 2010, the economist Peter Diamond and the economist Christopher Price won a Nobel for investigation in this topic because they found that that even a tiny increase in the cost of searching leads to an increase in price of the goods. And that's all. Thank you very much for your attention and see you in the next episode.